Good evening. This is January 2nd, 2020. Happy New Year. My name is John, and tonight we are going to learn how to create a simple C++ program that would allow us to have a basic arithmetic calculator. We are going to be able to add two numbers, subtract them, multiply and divide them with the creation of this basic C++ program. As you see here on the screen, you have right there, right before your eyes, the program. Very simple. We're going to start from scratch so that way we can really understand what we're doing here. First to do is always introduce C++ is based on access to certain libraries. In this case, we need the library called input output stream. And we are going to come doing the program, the introduction, always using a hashtag. We want to tell it what library to use, and we're going to ask the program to include what is called the IO stream input library. And there it is. Next, we're going to put here a certain command, which is basic, using a namespace, standard, and a semicolon. That will be later on explain why we put in that phrase, using namespace, standard. After that, we are going to introduce, this is the backbone of the program, the fundamental of it, int space main, and we're going to put here parentheses. We don't need to put a semicolon here. And right now, as I put in the keys, here is where we're going to put the program. It's always good practice, best practice, to put here, when we end the program, return to 0, semicolon. That helps it to start. But this here is where we're going to put in the program. All right? We're going to compile it first to see if it works. If there's no error, it'll be showing here 0. It's doing right now the process, and it should be any second now if we don't have, you see? It doesn't show any errors or warnings whatsoever. Okay, now, this is the basic fundamental commands we got to put in C++. Access to the library include input output stream, IO stream, the second line using namespace standard with a semicolon at the end. That's important. And then int main, which is the integer, to introduce here what we're going to put in the program. Let's get it done to create our simple arithmetic calculator. So the first thing here we're going to define are our variables. We could put here integer, which means number, of course, and we could put A, first number, and B, second number. But since it will only provide results of whole number format, we want decimal, so we're going to put here float. And the first variable is A, second variable is B, third variable is the sum of it, second variable, the fourth variable is subtraction. And then we go on, so on, with multiplication, and finally division, right? So we close it up with a semicolon. Here it is. Let's test it out. Let's see if it works. No errors. It's doing well. Now we're going to have the screen, the user see the screen and see that it's asking for it to input the first and the second number. So how do we go about that? Well, we're going to put here a command that's called cout, output, and we're going to put here inverted arrow tips like that, and then we're going to put here a quotation mark, and we are going to say here enter first number, right? Semicolon space, we put it like that, okay? So it is entering right now the first number. Now here comes an extra quotation mark we don't need. So after that, we're going to put here immediately the semicolon. And we're going to put here what was. We're going to tell it that the number that I keyed in 4, I keyed in 5, to save it in the memory of the computer. So I put here send, C input, this time forward arrow tip, and I'm going to put here A with a semicolon. Here it is. See how it works there? And the first number. All right. But let's enter the second number too. So we put C out, and we're going to put here again the inverted arrow tip. That's what I call it, arrow tip. Some people call it greater than, less than. I call it backwards arrow tip or forward arrow tip. This here, in my case of C out, output, I put in here a backward arrow tip. And I'm going to put here now what? I'm going to put enter second number. Put here semicolon, space it, and then after that I put a little comma here. Well, you don't. In this case here, it's my mistake. Sorry, we don't put no comma. We do put the quotation mark, but no comma. And we're gonna put here now C in, and this time forward arrow, and we're gonna put here B, and like this, and we got it right. So you can see here in the first number, but we do have to put here is the semicolon and the semicolon, because actually it's two commands. We could do it like this, look, like that, and we could do it like that. After each one, semicolon, 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 semicolon. But it's good to put it in the same line, if you wish, to say space. We're only gonna leave it like that. Okay. So we're gonna continue here now with the second command. We gotta define what's it gonna do with A and B, the first and second number. We're gonna tell it to sum it. And we're gonna put here sum equals A plus B, right? We close the semicolon. After that, we're gonna put here subtraction. Subtraction. What does subtraction equal? Well, A minus B, right? Semicolon. Multiplication. And we put here what? Equals A times B. So, it's a definition. We put a semicolon on it. And then division. Well, what does division equal? Whoops, I sure did butterfinger myself there on the keyboard, right? Now, it's very important for it to be in little letters, because that's how I define multiplication, little letters. So it'll be here equal. This time what? A divided by B. We put here the semicolon, right? Let's see if it be working now. A compiler that checks. It says, hey, it says count was not defined. Yeah, you see, I put a capital. It should be a small c. It guaranteed to work now. And it says subtraction. So we got here subtraction. For some reason, it's subtraction only. We're going to compile it again. No errors. All right. We're good. Okay. After that, we're going to now put the results. So we got an output again. Output, inverted arrow, and quotation. And we're going to put here what? The sum is, put that space. And what's the name of the sum here? Well, it is, again, inverted arrow, sum, and we got here what? The semicolon, right? Same thing for the rest of it. Now we can just copy and paste this and change the what needs to be changed, as you will see in a moment here. We're going to put here Control V. We're going to copy it again, paste it. But this time it's not the sum, right? It is what? It is the subtraction. And this here is not called sum no more. It's going to be called what? Subtraction. Over here, the sum no more, because now it's the third arithmetic operation, which is multiplication. And we're going to put here then what? Well, let's get it for multiplication. That's the one we define. A times B, right? Here is not the sum. What is it? It is the division. So we're going to put here division is, and we got here what? Division. Let's check it out. Let's see how it looks if there are no errors. And it's perfect. There are no errors. What we can do here now is clean it up, take away all these spare spaces, and make it look right. And compile one more time. Well, all right then. Let's run it. And the first number, well, let's give it 20. And the second number, well, let's do 40. What the addition going to be? It's going to be 60. This is going to be minus 20 and the rest of it. Says here the sum is 20. Subtraction is minus 20. The multiplication is 800. And division is 0.5. We got it, don't we? Now, but let's give it, make it look better. So what we can do here is put what is called, for there to be spaces between each one and it be not bunched up, we can do as follows. Put in here, again, inverted arrow and L. All right? We do that on each of these following 3 lines, and we're going to have it make it look better. So we go again like that. Oops. Let me see here. Go a little bit back forward here. Got to copy it all the way from here. Control C. And we're going to put it in here, right? Control V. That's clean right there. That's going to space it out real good, so it could be clearer to see, Let's make sure we don't have no errors. It should be showing 0. If it does, we're good. If not, well, back to the drawing board, right? We're good. Let's run it. Let's see how it works now. Right? Again, you say here, in the first number, 20. Second number, 40. And there it is. The sum is 60. Subtraction is minus 20. Multiplication is 800. Division is 0.5. Well, that's how you would create a simple arithmetic calculator using C++ computer language, which was created by Dennis Ritchie, rest his soul, in the 1970s, along with Ken Thompson. All right, then. Thank you very much for your attention.